Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 2, leadership and implementation. So we spent the first half of this week, or the first part of this week, diving into the algebra project and hearing a little bit of that work. I hope that was a really interesting case to explore as well. And one of the things that really struck me, getting a chance to look at Bob Moses's work within the algebra project, and also getting a chance to see some of the other projects that have come out of the algebra project's work. I think a lot of what it takes to run these programs and implementation becomes a major part of that process. And as we kind of continue to try and make connections to what's happening in this course, last week in our leadership section, we read a lot of articles about the design process. Now we're going to continue and go a little bit deeper and also think about how do we think about when we think about leadership implementation. So we've got 2 articles here this week, which is a little bit of a smaller number from last week. And the first one is really kind of thinking about infusing the STEM pipeline through community engaged learning. I think it's an interesting piece connected to leadership. I have some thoughts and issues with looking at the STEM, the leaky pipeline analogy. And so although I don't ask about that, I would love to get your thoughts in this discussion about that as well. And then there's also an article around how business management concepts become leadership fashions. Most of us have all been educators, and we've seen kind of how some of this business management work leaks into the work that we're doing in education. And so I think these 2 articles really help us start to think about the idea of implementation when we're starting to think about these learning environments. And so after you've had a chance to be able to read them, I have 2 things that I want you to be able to do. The first one is a continuation of ways that we can analyze some of the articles and some of the processes that we work. In your upcoming project for the first half of this course, you're going to be kind of reviewing some already existing learning environment. And I've led kind of the main analysis tool that we did in the first week around the different sections and a bunch of questions, sub questions that you can ask to explore. That's one way to go about looking at it. But, there's other ways to kind of think about review that may fit better within the work that you want to do. And so this week, I want us to focus on doing a free writing article or a free writing opportunity by using journalistic questions. And when I mean journalistic questions, I mean the who, what, where, when, how, and why kinds of questions. And so what you're going to do is for the Jordan Block and Cohen article, I want you to do the journalistic question free write around the leaky pipeline question. And then what I want you to do for the other article is just kind of talk a little bit about what are some of your takeaways as we continue to dive into, especially when we're starting to think about how do we implement these programs. Great work so far in the course. If you have any questions at all, just let me know, and keep on keeping on, and great work.